The Clown in a Cornfield is a 2025 horror film directed by Eli Craig, the filmmaker behind Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, though this time he didn't write the script. The movie is adapted from Adam Caesar's 2020 novel of the same name. It centers on Quinn Maybrook and her father, who moved to the small town of Kettle Springs, Missouri for a fresh start after her mother's death. Upon arriving, they find the town torn by generational conflict, especially following the destruction of the Bay Pen corn syrup factory. As tensions between the older townsfolk and the younger generation rise, a sinister figure named Frendo the Clown emerges from the cornfields and begins targeting local teenagers. The question becomes whether Quinn and her new friends can survive the escalating horrors. The film is a mixed bag. I like Quinn's character and her complicated relationship with her father, trying to support him while silently struggling with her own grief. I liked her bisexual boyfriend as an actor, though one of the scenes involving his sexuality felt a little forced. The friend group was solid in a sense, but at the same time, I don't know. The first half of the movie was strong, as I believe these characters would all become friends, but at the same time, their friend group felt like it came straight out of a Hollywood diversity quota casting call. It didn't feel authentic. But the older characters, including Will Sasso and whoever was playing the mayor or the governor or whatever he was, didn't work for me. Their performances felt like it belonged in a horror comedy, while the film itself was edited and structured more like a traditional slasher. That tonal disconnect was off. Some of the dialogue the elders had also were just god-awful, and it felt forced. And the main problem with this film is that tonal imbalance. It felt like the director wanted to go in one direction and make this a horror comedy, and he couldn't, or they didn't want him to, and they just wanted him to make a straight up slasher film. And those two different films, or those two different edits, are battling each other, trying to come up with a cohesive film, and it just falls flat. The movie also leans hard into political subtext, or rather, it doesn't really keep it subtext at all. The plot revolves around this group of boomer-era town elders trying to keep outsiders and change at bay. It's a message we've seen many times before in real life, and the film doesn't try to bring anything new to the table. On top of that, I figured out who the main villain's identity was almost immediately as he's introduced. I'm like, oh, this is the guy behind everything. The film is also not that original. It borrows from many previous slasher films that doesn't feel like it's paying tribute or homage to. It just feels like it's ripping them straight up. Like the beginning, to me, when I was watching the film, felt like it just took straight out of Friday the 13th. I know in today's day and age, we'll almost never get an original idea anymore out of Hollywood. They'll always try to go with what worked in the past, but it would be nice if they actually tried to do something new, but they're just going to go with what makes money, and what makes money is they look at what made money before and try to rip that off or reinvent it or whatever, but they're just doing the same thing all over again. That's why we'll always get countless sequels and remakes of things that were successful in the past, with adding little to it to make it any different or unique. But like I said, it would be nice if they actually tried. I went into this film with high expectations, as I really did like the trailer. I found it interesting and funny, and watching this film, the film was neither interesting or funny. The parts that were funny were in the trailer, and I didn't laugh one time. I thought the characters were overacting, especially Will Sasso. He just felt so off to me in this movie, and the film just didn't work for me. At the end of the day, Frendo is nothing special at all. It just didn't work for me. The whole film doesn't work for me at all, and especially it falls off in the third act. And when something happens and it's revealed, you're kind of like, oh, and then it just fails. It just fails. None of the kills are really that interesting to me either. So with that being said, I'm going to give The Clown in a Cornfield a 1.5 out of 5 stars, specifically for the lead actress and her boyfriend in the movie. That's about it. There's nothing else in this. She tries, he tries for the most part. I believe they could have a relationship, but you know, they do something at the end that makes it even worse. But anyway, that's that. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let me know down in the comment section what you thought about Clown in a Cornfield. I'm aware that I'm an outsider in this regard that does not like the film. A lot of people love it. I wish I could love it. I don't understand. I went in this with the best intentions and came out just miserable. It actually took me a long time to even want to make this review because I didn't like the film that much. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.